Yes, ma'am.
So today we will start from sedimentation and decantation. Both the processes are very easy process, and we use these processes in our daily life. Sometimes it may not be possible to separate components of a mixture by winnowing and hand picking. Okay. For example, there may be lighter impurities like dust particles in rice or pulses. In that case, we use sedimentation and decantation process to separate the dust particles from the mixture. So if the particle is very small by its size, or it is very light, then also we use these two processes, sedimentation and decantation. The process of settling down of the heavy solids at the bottom in a mixture of a liquid and an insoluble solid is called sedimentation. The solid particles that settle down during the sedimentation process, they are called sediments, and the liquid above the sediments is called supernatant liquid. The process of pouring out the clear upper liquid without disturbing the sediments, it is called decantation. So suppose you have taken a mixture of sand and water. So you have taken, suppose you have taken a glass of water. Now you have added 4 to 5 spoonful of sand to it. Okay, simple dry sand you add to a glass of water, and then you stir it well. So now when you are stirring, those sand particles will just float on water. After that, you keep the glass aside, okay, and do not touch it, do not stir it, do not disturb it. Keep it aside for 1 to 2 minutes. After some time, what you will see? You will see that all those sand particles have settled down at the bottom of the glass. And above those sand particles, above that layer of sand particles, the clean water is still there. So this process is called sedimentation, because all the sand particles have settled down at the bottom of the glass. This process is called sedimentation. And the layer of the sand particle that will be called sediments. Okay. So the layer of the sand particle that you will see here, also you can see it. Though it's not water, it looks like juice or something like that. So just you can just think that if this is water or any liquid, it can be, and this is the layer of the sand particle that has settled at the bottom of the glass. So this part or this layer will be called, or these particles that tend to settle down, they are called the sediments. Okay. And this liquid which is still there above the sediment, that liquid is called supernatant liquid. Now, if you are able to pour this liquid into another can, without disturbing the sediment, that means you will have to pour this liquid into another can in such a way, very carefully, that not a single particle from this sediment will be transferred to this can. So this is how we will get pure form of the liquid that is completely free from the sediments stored in another container. Okay. So the sediment will remain in this container and the supernatant liquid will remain in this container. And now in this container, the supernatant liquid will be free from all kinds of impurities. So this process is called the process by which we settle down the sediments at the bottom of the glass or container. That process is called sedimentation. And when we shift or transfer the liquid that is present above the sediment, that is present above the sediment, when we transfer it to another container, that process is called decantation. Decantation means from one can or from one container, we are transferring it to another container. So is it clear to you all what is sedimentation and decantation?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
very easy. We all can perform this process in our home anytime. And all the contents or components we need, we generally have them in our home. Now here is an activity for you. The aim of this activity is to observe cleaning rice by sedimentation. Materials that you need are a cup of rice and a bowl and water. What is the method? Take some rice mixed with water in a bowl and allow it to stand without disturbing the layer of rice. Decant the water. What do you observe? You will observe that the rice, you can see, you can have the rice in one container and the water in another container, right? So what you will have to do, generally when we soak the rice into water, what we do? We add water in a bowl. You will take some rice, then add water to it. Do not stir it, do not disturb it, just keep it aside. After some time, you will see that all the rice particles, they have settled down at the bottom, and above the rice particles, we can see the water is there. And now it will be very easy for us to just shift or transform the water from that bowl to another container. So this is how in two different bowls, we will have separately the rice and the water. So this is the process of separation. We are separating the rice, soaked rice from the water. This is the process of separation. Now the next process is filtration. The process of separation of insoluble solids from their solutions using a filter is called filtration. So the solids must be insoluble. That means they should not dissolve in the liquid. If they dissolve in the liquid, we will not be able to separate them by using the process filtration. So the solids must be insoluble. They should not dissolve in the liquid, and we will have to use a filter paper. So the process of separation where we use a filter paper, that is called filtration. The filter allows the liquid to pass through and retains the solid particles. The insoluble solid particles retained on the filter paper during this process of filtration are called the residues. So what will you call them? They are called residues. The clear liquid obtained after filtration, that is called the filtrate. You look here, this picture, it is shown very clearly in this picture also. So for this experiment or activity, we will have to take a conical flask. So this is a conical flask, okay? And then we will have to just add water and sand particles in a beaker. You can see this one. And without disturbing the beaker, we will have to keep it aside so that the sand particles can settle down properly. After that, we will also have to take a funnel. Okay, this apparatus is called funnel. Which one? This one. This one is called a funnel. And now inside the funnel, we keep the filter paper. Inside the funnel, we keep the filter paper. Now the filter, now if we just pour this water into it and let it drop through the filter paper along with the sands, what will happen? The filter paper will allow the water to pass through it, but it will not allow the sand to pass through it. So what will happen? The sand will, you can see here in yellow color, the sand will stay inside the filter paper, whereas the water will pass through the filter paper, and separately the water will be collected here at the bottom of the conical flask. So at the end of this experiment, you will get all the sands inside the filter paper here, and you will get all the pure water into this conical flask. So in this process also, we can separate out the water from the sand particles. And as we are using water and sand particles, the sand is insoluble in water, and we are also using filter paper. So this process will be called filtration. The water that is stored at the bottom of the conical flask, that is called filtrate, right? And the sand that is stored inside the filter paper, that is called, what is it called? Tell me. That is called residue, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So can you all see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Students, can you all see the screen?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
see, now just look here. Separation of substances using the process filtration, by the process of filtration. Just look here. So this is a mixture of sand and water. And this is the process of decantation, simple decantation. Okay.
Yes.
By this process, we can separate out sand and water. Now see, this is a mixture of decanted tea, right? Because the tea leaves are present inside the teapot and the water is poured into the cup. But here you can see some tea leaves have also entered the cup. Some tea leaves have also been mixed with the water or the liquor. So how we can separate them out? We can separate them out simply using the strainer, so that the tea leaves will remain in the strainer and the liquor will be stored into the cup.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I'm going to show you the process of filtration. Okay, let's see. Here. So in the process of filtration, we particularly use filter paper. Okay, so these are the filter paper. So we will have to make a cone by that filter paper and we will have to put it inside the conical flask. So what is the conical flask here? Let me tell you first. So these are the different lab apparatuses. So here, this one you can see, this is a beaker, and this one you can see, this is a clamp, and this is also made up of glass. This particular apparatus, this one is called a funnel. Okay. Now what we will have to do, we will have to keep the filter paper. We will have to make a cone shape with the filter paper, and then we will have to put it inside the funnel. Okay. So now let's see what this boy is doing. So we will put the filter paper into the funnel. And now we will pour the water. So what happens here? The solid particles will be stored inside the filter paper. You can see here these solid particles. These are the solid particles. They will be stored inside the filter paper. The filter paper will not allow the solid particles to pass through it, but the water will pass through. The water can pass through the filter paper. So the water will be stored here in this beaker, and all the solid particles that were present in the water, they will be stored inside this filter paper. So this is also a process of separation with the help of filter paper. And as we are using filter paper, so this particular process is called filtration. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Is any problem there for understanding this process of filtration?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
So now let's see what is the next process that is given in your book. Next process is loading. Okay, loading. What is loading? Loading is a method in which a special substance called alum is used to load the suspended particle to make them heavy and increase their sedimentation speed. For example, the particles of clay in muddy water are very fine and their sedimentation takes a very long time. Alum is used to load the suspended clay particles in water faster. The dissolved particles, that means suppose any material is mixed with water, but its sedimentation rate is very slow. That means it is taking too much time to get sedimented. So alum is a particular thing. If we add it to the water, what will happen? The process of sedimentation, the time taken for the process of sedimentation will decrease. That means the particles will sediment or will settle down at the bottom faster. They will take less time. They become heavier and settle down very fast. The clear water on top is then decanted and filtered. Decanted means simply from one container we pour it to another container. That process is called decantation. So this process is called loading. So for loading, we just put another compound, a substance called which is known as alum, and when we just pour the alum into the mixture, then it helps the other substances, other particles that are present inside the mixture or inside the liquid, it helps them to settle down faster. Alum just helps them to settle down faster, and the method in which we use the alum to make the settling down of the particles faster, that process is called loading. Sometimes water itself takes part in loading. You must have observed that if it rains after a dust storm, the air becomes clear. The suspended dust particles get loaded by the raindrops. Okay, now tell me, have any of you noticed that after a dust storm, if it rains, that then everything looks so crystal clear? Have you noticed it?
Yes,
If after
Yes,
any storm,
Yes,
if it
ma'am.
rains, if heavy, even not after any storm, even if after rainfall, you will look outside and you will see everything looks so clear, right? Why it looks so clear? Because all the dust particles, dirt and dust particles that were floating or that were suspended in the air, all of them settled down on the ground with the rainwater. So here the rainwater helps the dust particles to settle down. Now go to the next page. Page number 48. Okay, first of all, you read this part and tell me if you have any problem here. Any problem in understanding this part? Everyone, I'm giving you 1 minute. The part that I have just told you, sedimentation, decantation, loading, and filtration. These are the 4 main processes of separation: sedimentation, decantation, filtration, and loading. Read these 4 processes or methods of separation, and if you have any problem, you tell me now. So before that, I'm giving you 1 minute. You read it first.
Ma'am.
After, yes, Rija.
Ma'am, can you tell the loading again, ma'am, for understand?
Okay. Suppose the mud, okay, the mud or any fine soil particle, they are very fine, they are very small particles. If any water is mixed with mud or fine soil particles, those soil particles or mud takes time to settle down at the bottom of the water or at the bottom of the container, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So sand takes less time to settle down, but soil particles, dust and dirt particles, they take more time to settle down, right? But we don't have that time. I want the soil particles to settle down much faster. So what will I do? I will add these substances called alum. These are some special substances. If you add it, then those particles will settle down faster. It will take less time. So whenever you will add alum to it, to the water, then those soil particles or mud particles, they will settle down faster. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. No, I can't hear you properly. Who is this?
Residue.
Okay. Jahid. Okay, that means particle. That means particle. Any particle or substance. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, now let's go back to the next page. In my device, the next page is not opening. Okay, let's see what happened. Okay, so the next process is separation of immiscible liquids. So now you have learned whatever processes you have learned, filtration, sedimentation, loading, you have always separated the solids from the liquids, right? We have always used a mixture of solid and liquid, either sand particles and water, or mud, or dirt and dust particles and water. So one of the component was solid and the other component was liquid. But now we will have to separate out two liquids from each other. So that process, separation of immiscible liquids. You have seen that liquids are immiscible and miscible. So first of all, who can tell me what are miscible liquids? What are miscible liquids? Who can tell me? Yes, Tirna. Yes.
And those liquids which can dissolve in water is called miscible liquid.
Not only water. If two liquids we are talking about, any liquid, any two liquid that can dissolve in each other. Okay.
Ma'am, can I give an example?
In each other, they are miscible. Okay,
So like
Prajakta, you
milk
tell me
also.
what are immiscible liquids?
Immiscible liquids are those liquids that are not mixed with the liquid.
That cannot dissolve in each other. Okay. It can be
Ma'am,
water. In maximum cases,
oil and
it is
butter.
water. Yes, in maximum cases, it is water. But in some cases, it may not be water. Other liquids are also there that may dissolve or may not dissolve in each other. But in most of the cases, water is used. Okay. Now, Jahid, you tell me example of miscible liquid. Any one example of miscible
Liquid are alcohol, water. And
miscible liquid means you will have to tell me the names of two liquids that can dissolve in each other. Milk and water, juice and water, anything. Yes, anything you can say. Now, Akash Kumar Gupta. Akash, you unmute your device.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Akash, you tell me any one example of immiscible liquids.
Oil, salt. No, ma'am, salt is not there.
Oil and water, right?
Ma'am, kerosene.
Yes, that can also be written. So oil and water, they will never dissolve in each other, so they are immiscible liquids. So now we will learn that how we will separate those immiscible liquids from each other. If you vigorously mix oil and water in a beaker and let the beaker stand for a few minutes, the oil and water will separate. Such liquids which are insoluble with respect to one another, they are called immiscible liquids that we have just discussed. Two immiscible liquids can be separated using separating funnel. So what is separating funnel? It looks like this. This is called separating funnel. Okay, here you can see a glass funnel.
I cannot see.
Clamp is there. I'm sharing the screen. Okay, you wait. Maybe due to network problem, you can't see now. This is the clamp.
No, I will rejoin.
And yes, you leave and then rejoin.
Okay, ma'am.
And this is the clip. By rotating the clip to the right hand side and to the left hand side again, we can stop and start the flow of the liquid through this channel. So this is actually the knob. We can rotate the knob exactly as we rotate the tap. For just like that, we can rotate this one either to the right hand side or to the left hand side. To both sides we can rotate it, just so that the liquid can flow through this tube like structure. Okay, so now what yes, if this is a mixture of oil and water, suppose if this is water that is colored with green color, this part, and this one is oil, so oil always stores at the top of water, right? So what
Yes,
you will
ma'am.
do, you will just open this tap and let the water flow through this tube, and here you will keep a beaker, so the water will be stored into the beaker, and just when the water will all the water will flow and flow out of this apparatus, when all the water will flow out of this apparatus and will be stored into the beaker that is present here, just at that time you just close the tap. Okay, turn it to the left hand side and close the tap. So what will happen? The water will be stored inside this beaker. Into this beaker the water will be stored, and the oil will remain in this apparatus, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So the oil will remain. You didn't understand? Okay, I'm telling it again. So this container, in this container, what we have? We have a mixture of, we have oil and water. You can see oil never mixes with water. So here you can see at the top layer is of oil. This is a layer made of oil. Okay. And this is the layer of water. The water is food color. Suppose we have added food color, green color to the water, so that we can understand, we can separate out those two liquids properly. We can see it properly. So now this knob here, you can, this knob, you can rotate it to the right hand side and left hand side. If you rotate it to the right hand side, it will open the passage or open the path for this water to flow down through this tube. So here also you can see a tube. This is how this apparatus looks. Okay. So this knob can control the flow of liquid through this tube. Now, here you will have to place a beaker or a container. Okay. So now what you will do, you will just open this tap. Open it, turn it to the right hand side. And then what will happen? This passage will be opened, and then the water will start flowing out of this container. So water will flow out of this container, and gradually it will be collected here in this beaker. And when all the water will be collected here in this beaker, just at that moment, you close the tap. Close the tap. So what will happen? The oil will be trapped in this container, and the water will be collected in this container. So this is how you can separate out the water from the oil. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, so we don't have enough time today. Mark up to this activity. Mark up to this one, okay? Today we will start from evaporation. And here you see the same process of separating the soil from the seawater that I have showed you in the last class. The same thing you will have to read here, evaporation, in the process of evaporation. And for tomorrow's class test, so up to this you will have to read. Okay, up to this point you will have to read. From this chapter, questions will come. Okay?
Ma'am, all this chapter.
Yes, only this chapter. So questions will come from, I'm telling you, questions will come from page number 43, from page number 43 to the part that we have done today. So from page number 43 to page number 48. Separation of immiscible liquids. So page number 43 to page number 48.
Ma'am, only come from inside.
Yes, inside questions will come. So page number 43 to page number 48, this
Okay,
part.
ma'am.
Okay. So questions will come from this part. Read it well, and all the students should give the class test. Okay. So many students are not giving the class test, but keep it in mind that the attendance will be recorded.
Ma'am, up to separation of immiscible
Immiscible
liquid.
liquids. Yes, separation of immiscible liquids up to this part. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Now everyone check. You can mute and unmute yourself. I'm going to call your names.